Disaster, only on the Weather Channel. And now your local update. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for our area. Our local Doppler radar. For tonight, scattered strong to severe thunderstorms, low 70. And on Saturday, a mix of clouds and sun with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87. And Saturday night, generally clear skies with a few passing clouds, low 71. The week ahead, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your area.
Know what's in the air. Visit weather.com/pollen.
Right now on Weather Center Live, we are tracking a wave in the tropics that could develop and threaten the U.S. next week. We have exclusive expert analysis of the timeline and what could happen next.
Also tonight, we're tracking thunderstorms again in the Northeast. We'll show you where you need to take cover. Weather Center Live starts right now.
Good evening. Happy Friday. You're watching Weather Center Live. I'm Chris Villegar.
And I'm Chris Warren. Right now it is 7 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 6 Central. And we're going to get to that severe weather threat where once again we have the major cities in the Northeast targeted. But we are going to start off, though, with what could end up being a huge threat to the U.S. We're talking tropics right now, and we're talking about a possible U.S. threat here. So this is the area. It's a wave. It's not a depression yet. It's not a tropical storm. It's just at this point an area we're keeping a very close eye on because the forecast models for days now have been consistent in making this into something possibly big. But the main thing is the forecast models, a lot of them are agreeing, most of them in fact are agreeing, and they've been doing that for days. And so it's giving us some confidence that we may have something on our hands here, and eventually we're going to see this move in this direction. So we already have the threat level, even though for the U.S. we're saying it's low. This is very early for us to say this, but the reason we're saying that is because of the forecast models very consistent that this could end up being something. So the threat level, of course, could change depending on how soon it develops, direction it goes within the next few days, if it goes over land. So there's still a lot of variables we're keeping an eye on with this, as it does have the potential to develop. So we do have the threat already here for the U.S., Florida, Georgia, also parts of Alabama. Again, that can change, but the forecast model is consistent of taking this as it develops on up into this direction. So we are keeping a close eye on that, our exclusive threat level. If you live in any of these areas in yellow, you're going to want to check with us every single day for that threat. We do have another threat right now we're keeping an eye on, and that is the threat for severe weather in the Northeast. What you're looking at here, this yellow shaded area, this is a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock Eastern time. We are already getting reports of some strong storms with some large hail, damaging winds already, and we're looking at the threat for some very heavy rain, possibly some localized flash flooding along with this. We're going to start off here in Baltimore and head up to New York. In Baltimore, you can see some of these storms, they're not pushing through, but you have all the lightning, those are the flashes, the red and the orange indicating where we have the heavier rain right now, and we do have a flash flood warning, includes these cities you see here until 9 o'clock Eastern time. So we have the heavy rain, the green outlined area, if you can see that closely, it's over the green radar, but that's a flash flood warning. Once again, here on Weather Center Live, we were tracking storms in Philadelphia last night, and again tonight. Big line of storms moving through Philadelphia, just now getting into downtown. You see the cities here where we have that threat for some of the strong storms. Already reports of 1-inch hail. Some tree limbs have been snapped with wind gusts upwards around 50 miles an hour. And here's a live look at Philadelphia and away from the storms. So the storms, I believe, will be behind us. And you can see it's kind of like you're looking out of your garage maybe. You kind of have the roof there with the darker clouds. Those storms are moving in. And if you were watching us last night here at Center Live, we watched
a flash flood warning has been issued for your area.
Here's a look once again, as that line of storm getting ready to move into Philadelphia. Whole line with the flashes, that's your lightning, so you don't want to be outside at all. If your kids are outside playing, bringing them in, because these storms, of course, dangerous just with the lightning. And you can see here, we have New York City already starting to move in, Staten Island, and eventually it's going to be Manhattan. Crystal?
All right, rounding out the work week with another wild night in the Northeast. Let's get expert analysis now on these storms and bring in our storm master, Dr. Greg Forbes.
Yeah, storms with flooding rain, brief urban flooding, as well as damaging winds, maybe some hail coming within and over the next hour into New York City. All of this action today in the Northeast is courtesy of this little white line. That's a little cold is sliding into the area. Cold air aloft means adding to the instability. It's in the area just to the north of this jet stream, and as it moves in, all these green, those are the high-top thunderstorms, have fired up. And let's go to our other source then, the high-resolution radar, and see that these storms have not been moving too quick, and some of them in different directions. This cluster coming northeast out of New Jersey, this line coming southeast across New Jersey, they've collided around the Plainfield area, and now surging their way perhaps in a little mini bow here, right toward Newark and then toward New York City. I took a slice through, in fact, before I do that, let me show you. These storms pulse up, they get these little hail cores, the white and red hail cores, and they collapse. So as they collapse, we get damaging winds. Let me show you a slice through at about the time we had one of those collisions take place, right on the Plainfield area. That gave a little bit of a flare up of the hail, gave the tops that shot up there over 40,000 feet, so more than 8 miles tall, and then surged in that line that of the merger with heavy rain across toward the New York City area. Flash flood guidance, 1 inch or less per hour for these storms because you've had so much saturating rain last weekend. We're getting 1 to 2 inches per hour out of this whole line. So this whole line coming into the New York Metro has severe thunderstorms and flash flood warnings on it. Rough night in New York City. Kelly?
And thank you very much, Greg. We're going to take a look at the weather headlines for tonight.